Right. Welcome. Welcome to day 3. Oh my goodness. Welcome back. Today is when applications become available where you can apply to be able to hear a brand new offer. All serious action takers should complete that application, even those of you who are already my clients. I'll tell you why. First, you may want to take advantage of the offer. Second, you will learn by watching me present, right? As we model, I serve as a model for you. So, as a reminder, you have 24 hours, right? How many? 24 for you to complete that application. Okay. And so, when tomorrow's training is over, when you apply, you're going to get an email that's going to be waiting for you. And you just go over to that other Zoom link and meet me over there in that breakout room. And I'm going to share this offer. So I'm really excited about that. And tomorrow, I'm going to kind of recap what we're doing in these first 3 days, what we've done. And I'm going to share some tactic on how you can make social optional. Who's excited about that? Who is excited about making social optional? Hello, hello. Yes, yes. Okay. We're talking about leading a movement that moves masses. That's tomorrow. So it's going to be a super amazing day. All right. Raise your hand if you have a question. And I thought I saw Michelle, but then she didn't. Okay. But I want to start with one thing. Okay. And that is, I love reading y'all's chat. So thank you. And feel free to post all that you want. If you have a question, raise your hand, your virtual hand, so that I have you in line. Okay. Evelyn, you're back. Evelyn, you're second. I got you, girl. Evelyn is number 2. Okay. But what I wanted to say is one of you said, I'm working on affirmations. And I just want to say, I want to be clear, because you could say the word affirmation. I think affirmations are garbage. So you could say affirmations and you and I could mean the same thing. So I want to be clear that we're on the same page. Affirmations to me is worldly stuff where you feel ugly, let's just say. I really sincerely feel ugly in this example, but I'm gonna say affirmations. The world says, if you're ugly, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. And they say that when you do that, you feel beautiful. Hello? That don't work for me. And why? Because they're empty words. They have no power. As opposed to what I say, proclamations. And tell me in the chat, proclamations of what? If I feel ugly, what proclamations am I going to say that will change my mind about that? That's right. Capital T, truth found in scripture. So for the person that said that, we may be talking about the same thing, but we can't go like this and say, humana, 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 I am great. I am beautiful. I am whatever. Okay. That's baloney. The power is in Jesus Christ. Can I get an amen? And in the truth, he is the truth, the way, right? The life. And so we proclaim, who does God say that I am? I am more precious than rubies. Beauty is fleeting, but wisdom and knowledge of the Lord last forever, right? Like this is what I'm talking about. So I want to encourage you to be very clear on your words and always go to scripture, because this book, where do I have my Bible? The good book of the Lord has every answer to every question we would ever need. We just have to search for it. How do I parent? It's there. How do I run a business? It's there. And we're going to talk about it today. How do I understand who I am before the Lord? That's all there. Okay. So I just really wanted to dive deep into that so that we are clear. Now, if anybody is like, what are you talking about? Pop a question mark affirmations, and maybe I'll come back around and address that, because I'm not going to announce this to general session until tomorrow, but I'm going to do a bonus session on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I'm calling it Sisterhood Saturday. And I'm gathering all these questions. My team and I are gathering these questions. And so we're just going to come, not all gussied up, but we'll come with our coffee cups, and we'll have some fun together on a Saturday morning and have some fun and go deep on some things that we don't have time for this week. Okay. Sound good? Okay. Let's go. Michelle and then Evelyn.
Good morning. My question is quick and it's more administrative from the standpoint of yesterday you mentioned the application would be in a dashboard and I wasn't clear on where that dashboard is located.
Okay, the VIP dashboard. Audrey, when you can you please pop that in? There you go.
I think she did.
Oh,
Okay,
no, that's the regular dashboard. The VIP dashboard is something a little different, and I don't have it memorized in my head. But you should have gotten an email on that. But VIP is go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was just saying I didn't either. I was also missing the VIP dashboard.
yeah.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Apologies for that.
All good. All good.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my question.
That's coming your way ASAP.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you for raising that issue. Evelyn, how can I help you today, sister? Uh-oh, you're muted. I don't know how you know how to do it on the phone. God bless you, sister. You're still muted, hon. I can't hear you. And in the old days, I could unmute, but the update made I can't. You have to do it yourself. Don't you love when tech updates it? They say it's for my benefit. It always makes things harder. Okay, Evelyn, I see you trying. Lord God, help her to find the unmute.
I found it! Yay!
Hey,
Did you hear it?
I got you. It still
Hey,
looks muted, but I
okay.
hear you. So God
All
bless
right.
you. All right. How can I help, hon?
Whatever. All right. Number one, I want to say, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Okay.
Amen.
That's an affirmation, if you will.
Yeah.
That's a
Proclaiming
positive
truth. That
confession.
is an
Whatever.
affirmation of God's truth. Yes, ma'am. That's a proclamation.
That's
Ma'am.
exactly what I truth, the truth, the truth. Anyway, and the other thing was that could you just explain? Well, first of all, did you get that thing I sent? I posted. I have so many technological issues. All right, I'm a great team leader when I get a team, but I first have to make some money before I can have a team. Yeah, and this is a scary thing because I just screw it up all the time because of the technological stuff. I couldn't get it on there. I thought, okay, hopefully you'll see it, okay, whatever I did. The next thing is, could you explain
Evelyn, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you just say my question is, and then I'll ask for context because coming in and out. So
yeah,
what is your question, hon?
right. My question is, can you explain the difference to what this other VIP session is, in addition to already being in the 12-month program? Could you just explain the difference, what edition it is?
What do you mean, the VIP? You don't mean the event, do you?
No. This little addition that I need to add on.
Oh, the application?
No, I think I have to do something by the end of the day today, where it's maybe that's the event, an extra day at the event. Maybe that's what that is.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just be clear, Evelyn. Okay. If you want to be in a private Zoom room tomorrow with me and the action takers here, then you have to fill out an application that's at the top of the dashboard, and it's also going to be sent to y'all right after the general session. You and I have been talking about you upgrading to VIP at the conference coming up next month. That's different. So let's communicate with that over there. Okay?
Okay. I think I got the question answered.
Awesome. Beautiful. And I'm so glad you're here.
And I hope that you all saw, if I did try to post my dear, that for like 20 minutes, and I don't even know if it went through. So
yeah, I did not see it. I will look when I'm done here, and I will look again. But I didn't.
You.
Okay.
Right, I don't want to take up too much time. Go ahead.
All right, Evelyn. Thank you. Thank you. If nobody else has questions, girls, I got something for you in light of the chat that I see coming. So, does someone have a hot burning question? If you do, I want to get to it. I don't know. I'm looking at some faces. I think Rebecca might have a question. I don't know. Maybe Laquita. I don't know.
I have a question, Judy. Am I unmuted? Oh,
I got you.
Okay, sorry. I had to get off and get back on my internet.
Tell you.
I do have a question. I wasn't going to ask because I felt like I took up some time yesterday. But if you're begging for a question,
Wait, whoa. I'm not begging. I'm asking.
okay,
But wait, can I say one more thing before you do that? Hold on to
yeah,
your question. Because
yeah,
what you said just now, I saw it in day one's chitty chat, and I want to address it. I told y'all from the beginning that part of going all in is coming here with a question. And so I don't want anybody to apologize for being the one or the two or the five that raised their hand. I will say, atta girl, I know who's serious, right? Because I've laid out how to succeed. So if you'd like to succeed, come with a question. But a related point of that is something that, frankly, I realized of myself. And so I'm very, very mindful and aware of this. And that is, I find myself in group calls in my highest level mastermind where I'm like, oh, I've got to be short, quick, go with a question and drop back. Meanwhile, I get very frustrated when others go on. And even after the question's answered, they said, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. They go on for another 2 minutes. Oh my gosh, that was so great. Oh, so terrific. And you can see how I get aggravated with that because I'm like, shut her down, go on to the next, shut her down. So there's a difference between and just like reveling in it versus I have a question, I'm going to ask it, and I'm not going to apologize for taking up space. So what I want you to hear on all this, all of you, and I want you to write this down somewhere in your notes or in the chat. I am worthy to take up space. I am worthy to be heard. I will not apologize for asking a question. Because from where I sit, the ladies with whom I work, I see the ones who are raising their hand. And guess what? Here's a non-secret. They're the ones who are winning. So I'm sorry, Rebecca, I had to go on that tirade. I love that you have a question. Bring it.
no, it's fine. You're making me tear up over here because it's just reminding me of, that I need to work on that.
We all do.
So thank you. Okay. I feel like a bit of a fraud. I posted my answer yesterday, Judy, and you will see if you guys go back in there. I posted a second video that I took. My question is around my perfect right fit client. And I feel like what I shared in my video answer was not like, it just didn't feel authentic. I found myself going like, this doesn't feel right. And I re-recorded the video, but then I didn't post it. It's like, what I re-recorded was like, I'm actually not sure. And I think I didn't want to admit that because everyone felt so like, I feel like at this point in my business, I should know. So I thought I would ask for you to help me find some clarity maybe around that.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how to ask that question. Okay. Yeah.
I got you. I have a couple questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, I love that you brought this question. Thank you for your vulnerability and being real because we're all benefiting. Okay. And number two, I would say that you are not alone. It's easy for us to like Judy said, come with enthusiasm and excitement and all these things. And so that's what I'm doing. And so brava. But I don't want any of you to feel bad if like there's not 100% certainty. And why? Everybody tell me, Rebecca, tell me why, and everybody else put it in the chat. Why is it okay that we're not 100% certain on our best client?
Because we don't have to have perfection.
Ta-da!
Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only Christ is perfect. So all we're doing, can I just say that I don't have absolute clarity about my best clients. I'm very far along. But the more we work with clients and the more we work with coaches and the more we get exposed to these different like higher level rooms and things like that, the more the clarity is going to come. So how about you share right here, Rebecca, like your most authentic description of your best client?
Well, okay. I think this is what I shared in my video in the Facebook group, Judy. I think I'm scared to admit that I want to move away from doing service-based and I want to move into consulting. And that makes my ideal perfect fit client completely different. And so I know who my perfect fit consulting client, or like I know who my perfect fit agency client is. And I'm just feeling really burnt out on agency work. And that's the client I described to you, was the woman who wants to hire me to do her ads. She, she wants to get it taken off her plate. She's
Right.
willing to just pay, invest in ads, all these things. But when I think about my best fit client that I've had recently, it's not a done for you client. It's a consulting client. This best fit client already took a DIY ads course. They already have attempted to run ads on their own. They're a solopreneur. Ideally, this best fit client is probably either a solopreneur or an entrepreneur with a very small team. They want to understand analytics. They want strategy and coaching and consulting on the ads that they are going to run. They don't want to hire me to come in and do it themselves. They want to have that relationship, that back and forth, kind of like a coaching mentorship relationship, right? They don't just want to hire me to come in and for me to do it. And the difference I see there is they don't view me as an employee, right? Or someone that they're paying for a service. They view me as a coach, a mentor, a partner in helping them understand how to create strategies that work for their business.
Okay.
And the reason I want to explain this, Judy, is because long term, my goal is not to be doing people's ads forever. I want to shift into being more of a marketing coach, a marketing mentor, a marketing consultant. And I feel like if I stay in doing people's ads, I will not be able to get there. And this has been the thing that I think I've been not able to quite say out loud. I'm not sure why. I don't know why.
Okay. I love it. Couple questions.
Okay.
First of all, I want to go with the higher level question of why has first of all, does that feel good to get it out?
Yeah, it does. It feels scary. Like I'm like, what is she gonna say now?
Yeah, like, well, okay, what do you think I'll say?
I don't know why.
What
I
do you
think it
think?
feels scary too because I think it all started with the thought of like, I know I can charge high ticket for done for you services because I know I'm good at doing that and I know that people pay for that. And I have a little bit that fear of like, will people pay for consulting? And then I was talking recently with my friend Michelle, who's in this group, and I was like, I think people aren't paying for consulting. I think that people are, and they're paying a lot of money for it. I just don't know how to maybe position myself as that or make that shift, or I'm not really sure. I don't know,
Okay.
Judy. It's like,
but that's what you want to do. It sounds like you're decided.
yeah, oh, I've decided. I just haven't figured out how to shift my business there. I don't like,
So good.
I don't know.
Good. What do you mean by
So
that?
then I just,
I'm sorry. Is your goal then to really like continue to work with your current done for you clients, but ultimately pivot to be this marketing consultant?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in a perfect world, Judy, I think if I could really like zoom up, I'm trying to do that. It's hard sometimes. It's like you make it sound easy, but sometimes it's hard. I think I had really felt called, just so you know, last fall, I felt like the Lord in some confirmation, an event I was in last April. I had a couple women speak into my life that they feel like the Lord was positioning me to be more in like a coaching, a teaching, a leadership role. I do not feel like done for you services is coaching, teaching, leadership. I feel like a service-based provider. And I know that God has called me to more than that, Judy. And I haven't figured out how to get there. I'm like, what? So I thought it was coaching and teaching in courses. And I started creating courses, and then I agree with you. Courses are hard because it's the lower level. It's lower cost. It's not as high, whatever you call it. Like it's,
Yeah.
what's the word you told me the other day? But anyways, you can't charge more for it. I don't know how to grow and
Well,
scale. So
well,
I
wait a second.
started to realize,
There's so much I can say, and I want to get your input, but
okay,
I want to say a couple things. I hate the word course only
yeah,
because a course is here you go, here's some videos, have some fun. Like there's zero support. And so to me, in my experience working with clients and even my own in the early days trying to figure things out, it was of virtually no help. That's the first thing. Something that you and I talked about was not what I would call a course. I would call it more of a program because there might be
right.
so that makes it in the 3K.
True. I would like to have the program. Yeah, I
Okay.
would like, because I just feel really in my soul, like in my core, I feel really good and really solid about having a price point, an offer at a price point that feels really attainable for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs who want to get started with ads. I'm not sure what that, but like,
Okay. That's what I was gonna say.
I don't know what that price point is,
$1,000
but
range.
like, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Let's talk about consulting now. Let's talk
yes.
about consulting. I
Don't get
want to
distracted.
clearly understand what that would look like for your best client. In other words, they come in, you onboard them. Tell me just a bit about what happens. Just very high level.
I think probably what happens is we do a marketing audit. So we stop and we audit everything they have going on. And ideally, I mean, they're hiring me because they're already running ads. So either they're running the ads or they have someone on their team running the ads. Again, I'm kind of envisioning they probably have a small team. And they want to get a good picture of like, is what we're doing working? We do this full audit. Then I come in with, here's the strategy A through Z of what I think we should do to start to actually hit the goals that you have for your ads, for your marketing, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And I give them a full plan and I'm like, okay, we're starting here. We're starting with A. And it just becomes like, like you said, I don't really want to put a time limit on it. I'm more thinking of it as like it's either month to month, like, or it's like, I don't know, I'm open to it being like, here's the next 6 months, here's the next 12 months. And when we just work through it one by one, I'd have access to their, on a weekly basis, it would probably look like they have Voxer access to me. We're 24/7 back and forth Voxer access. I'm giving them, I'm checking in with them daily. I want them to feel very
Ooh,
supported.
checking in
And
daily? Wow. Wow.
like
Daily
I
check-in? Oh my gosh.
at this point, Judy, like I have the capacity to do that. I would rather check in daily with my Voxer consulting clients than be in the ads manager working on accounts daily for clients,
Gotcha.
because it just feels so much more aligned with what I want to be doing.
Okay.
And I mean daily, like obviously Monday through Friday. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy on the weekend, but
okay. I think I
and
have
then like monthly calls, maybe like monthly calls, like, hey, once a month we do a check-in.
Mhm.
And I
Yep.
only know because I have this one consulting client that I guarantee, and you know how it works. He doesn't need me every day, but I'm there every day if he needs me. And he keeps telling me how supported he feels and how he couldn't be doing this without me, when really I'm like, you could, but you're doing better with me. You know
Beautiful.
what I mean? Like,
Yes, yes. Okay. Can I ask a couple of questions on this?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I feel like from what you just said, you already have this figured out. You have a framework for your consulting package. Am I wrong?
Oh no, I do in my mind, Judy, but
Well, no,
I'm trying
can
to
I say
figure
it
out
sounds like
like,
it's already, hold on, I'm sorry to
well,
interrupt, but it sounds like it may not be as fleshed out as
yeah.
it could be, or packaged in a way and messaged in a way and positioned in a way, but it sounds like you do have the like basic framework for their consulting package. You just have to,
Yeah, I think
right?
yeah, I'm a little bit like, I don't know, maybe you're right. I guess I'm not sure. Like I have this one client who is paying me for consulting, but I haven't been able to find, like I did start running some ads for this offer, and I need to tweak my messaging because I was just trying to book calls with people who
Sure.
seemed like a right fit, and I was getting people who weren't a right fit. So I need to do my own messaging. I think I just am not even clear yet on my own messaging.
Okay.
So
I
I
want to give you
probably,
clarity. I want to give you clarity. Okay.
yeah,
If I may. This sounds like a CMO position. You're there, you're coming in to a company and saying, I am your chief marketing officer. Right there is positioning. I am not an ad strategist, although there's nothing wrong with that. You're that and so
right.
much more. So you are a CMO, and if you want to maintain the strategy, that's great. But you're a CMO because one of the questions I have for you is when you're saying you're doing the marketing audit, I would imagine it's not just ads, it's ads plus. It's ads plus. How is your lead gen going? Let me see your lead magnet. What is your customer journey? Let's look at the messaging. It's well beyond ads. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So ads is kind of your corner of the market as it relates to a CMO because you feel that that is super important and you're going to get them to run ads automatically, like you and I talked about, like, hey, we're going to automate your lead gen via Facebook ads, which is beautiful. But you're going to do their entire marketing, not just ads. So I see this as very high level. Are you catching what I'm
Okay.
trying to drop down?
Yeah. I think my thought, okay, I'm like, cause I'm like, where is my block?
Yeah.
I can't figure it, I think my thought was one, like, can I make as much money doing this type of consulting as I could doing done for you, which clearly I think I can. Like you're telling me this, someone in the chat just said you can, but I think my thought was like, I guess I kind of placed my value. This sounds ridiculous. I don't really want to say this out loud,
Get
but
it
I'm gonna
out.
say it out
Get it
loud.
out. You'll be glad you
I
did.
think I placed my value in the fact that I have the skills to come in and actually set up and execute the actual campaigns because for the most part that's where people they don't know how to do it and they don't want to do it, right? They're like, come in and do my Facebook ads. So to me, I was like, if I'm not offering to come in and set up your ads, is there as much value in that? Because what I'm offering to do is I'm saying you need to have someone who's already going to be willing to run the ads, whether it's you or someone
Yes,
on
of
your
course.
team. I'm not going to run them for you, but I am going to come in and set, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
So easy. This is
So
so
I
easy.
see now why I'm not able to sell this offer because I don't know if I 100% even believe in it, even though I want to.
Yep. It's
Okay.
it's so good. I can see it clearly. Hang on. I hope I'm about to tell you something enlightening, but you're right. You're thinking, I don't know if my best client wants this. I don't know if they're out there looking for this, right? Because you have to know they exist and they're looking for you, and your expertise, which in this case is the whole schlemazel, whatever of marketing, and you don't have clarity and belief around your offer. So I feel like, let me see if this helps. Your best client for this, what I'm calling your CMO consulting offer, they're definitely beyond six figures. I would say multi 6 and 7 figures. Don't let that scare you. Okay. And they have a team. Even if a small team, they have a team. And so whether they right now are hiring somebody to run their ads outside or somebody in-house is running it, your positioning is, I'm going to come in, I'm going to overhaul your marketing. We're going to insert Facebook ads, or if you're already, they might not. I mean, your best client may not even be running ads, but they need to have
Right.
somebody willing to do it. So that's not a problem if they're like, we don't have anybody to do it, but we want you to set it up, like, i.e., the marketing strategy. Great. You have referral sources. You have
Right.
other ads people that you can refer to so that you don't have to be the agency. You don't have to be the one to have people on your team to do it. You could if you chose to, but if not, you can say, look, just to be clear, I'm the CMO, your team implements, and footnote, if you don't have a Facebook ads person or anybody to do it, I have resources, I have referrals, I have contacts, but I'm not seeing the problem like you are. Like, does that give any clarity what I just said? It's so figure outable.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I think the clarity, Judy, though, comes from um I have to have the belief and the like I have to be okay with if they're going to ask me to do that, it's okay for me to say no. Because that's the part that I'm like, I've just always, anytime, ever since I've started my business, I kind of would get stuck in the like, I'm just going to say yes to anyone because well, because I wanted the experience. I was growing. Every time I had a different time to work with a different type of business, right? It was like adding to my repertoire, all these things. And that has led to definite burnout because it's like, I don't need to be doing all these things. And it's okay for me to stop and go, I am now an expert in what I'm doing. And I do not have to, I don't have to do stuff that I don't want to do anymore.
Okay, now here, I just saw you go full circle. Who else saw it? Wave at me. And please, if you don't have your cameras on, please turn it on. I just heard you start that by saying, I don't know, I have a problem with saying no. It feels like I can't say no. But then you explain and you're like, yes, I'm an expert. And yes, it's okay to say no because I'm burned
Yeah.
out, et cetera, et cetera. So you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing wavering because the enemy, there is a thought. And we're going to be talking about in main session about my faith-filled thought model, but there must be a thought. There is a thought as to the circumstance of the offer. There's a thought around, can I do this? And maybe the thought is, among other things, I've never done it before. Do people want this? You know, am I able to set the parameters that, or am I going to have to adjust and the scope is going to be sliding and expanding beyond what I want? But here's,
Yes.
yeah, but who
Yes.
controls that? But who controls the scope?
Yeah.
Who does?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
mean, but Judy, it really takes a boldness and a confidence that I don't think I had early in my business. And I think I haven't been able to see that I am a different person now than I was when I started this business 4 years ago, right? Like I have
Yes.
completely different skill sets, different knowledge, different abilities, different confidence, different, right? And
Mhm.
I have to just step into that. And you're right, it does feel scary because this feels like a much more elevated, like it feels like a very big step up from what I'm doing in a lot of ways.
You're ready for it. You're ready for it. Can I say you think it takes boldness? You've said, I think, that it takes boldness to not allow scope slide and doing
Yes.
things I don't want to do. Is that a true statement that you've said? Do you believe that? Because I have a very
Yeah.
easy answer. It doesn't take
Okay.
boldness, okay? I mean, it does ultimately, but you know what it takes? It takes a contract,
Yeah.
a well written out contract saying, this is what my services include. And so whenever they want to go outside of it, and then you can say, actually, according to paragraph la la la, that's beyond the scope. And then you have the opportunity at that point, Rebecca, to say, you know what? I can do that for you at this additional cost. Or you can say that's beyond the scope and can't do that. Or a third option is it's beyond the scope, can't do that, but here's somebody who can.
Yeah.
So do you see how like there is, and this is so good. What you said is powerful, Rebecca. You see on the one hand how far you've come and how much you've learned. Your skill set's super elevated, and even dealing with, you know, clients, good, bad, and otherwise, and things you see now where you can step in stronger, but you just haven't fully owned it. So that becomes, well, what's stopping me? Your brain and the way you think. I need all of us. I need all of us. And I'm bastardizing you. I don't mean to make you feel bad. This is why yesterday, as I was looking through, y'all said, own it, own it, own it near the end. We need to own the fact that we are an authority and we're the expert and we lead. And just as a oncologist would not say, I can, you know, get the splinter out of your finger. That's a stupid, or oncologist wouldn't say, I can operate on your appendix. You are going to say, I don't do certain things, and we're not going to apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? So it really, but you're going to love what I talk about in general session as it relates to holding thoughts captive as unto Christ, because that's going to be the unlock so that you step more boldly into exactly who you are unapologetically and you make decisions around your offer from a place of calm confidence and certainty that, yes, this is what I want to do. This is the skill set that I can now offer. So,
Well, that came pretty far from my original question, didn't it, Judy?
well, what was your original question? It was
My original question, no, but this is, I guess here's the thing. This is the conversation I needed to have. One, it's accountability because I'm saying this in front of all of you. And two, it's like giving me that, like, I don't know, sometimes you just need someone to say the thought that you have in your mind that you haven't said out loud, like it doesn't sound crazy. It actually sounds good and you should go for it, you know?
absolutely
No, the original question was around, I
best
feel
client.
conflicted on my ideal perfect fit client, and this is why, because I'm not feeling aligned with the way I've been working and I need to make a shift. So,
Mhm. So now I think you have clarity there. And you know what? Maybe you're at a place in your business where you can have two offers simultaneously. I wouldn't suggest right out of the gate, like right now, as I understand it, the bulk of your work is done for you services. Am I right about that?
you
Kind of.
are right, but
Okay.
you know what, Judy?
What's that?
Well, while we're here being honest, what's the story in the Bible? Is it Moses? And then he tells him to leave and he doesn't leave. So then the river dries up and then he's like, well, now I have to leave. The river is dry of done for you clients right now.
Okay.
I have my consulting clients and I have a couple projects that I'm working on, Judy, that are done for you, but they're not long term. My
Okay.
long-term reoccurring done for you clients have slowly dried up this summer. So I
Perfect
feel
time.
like it's time to shift, you
Yeah.
know?
Perfect timing. And all I was getting at is and there's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, we all go through seasons. So
Yeah.
don't we just let's applaud Rebecca for her vulnerability and being real, because this is the juice of being in a group container where Christ is at the center and where we can be really real with each other. There's no putting on airs, right? But when we making a pivot, which sounds like God set you up for this being in this moment, the perfect time, then I would suggest to you and recommend that you decide whether your next focus will be going for the consulting client or going for and building out this group program. So to me, and then we're going to move on, but I'm just curious, your gut as between those two new offers, what feels simplest to you?
Well, simplest to me would be starting with consulting because
There
it's
you go.
hard. I feel like it may be a little harder on the front end to find people, even though that seems silly because,
That's a thought.
you
Why
know,
don't you
but
say, my people are waiting for me to offer this? Man, they are waiting.
yes, I think that the reason I would say consulting is because I've been in a slow season, I'm thinking about like what's the way to the fastest way that I can start to bring in money is to have the higher paying clients because it would only take one or two clients for me to start to recoup and like feel like I'm good there. However, Judy, I have already paid someone to help me build out all of the sales page in the back end for my course program that I'm working on. Like she's already on board. I've already paid her. So in a way, I feel like I've kind of already committed. I already put one foot in the door to kind of force myself to get that going.
Okay.
So just
This
to
is
be
great. This
honest
is so
there.
great. And I appreciate that. Can I just tell you again from where I sit? You get to decide. And I don't know how
Yeah.
much money that is, but whatever she does, and whenever it's completed, it'll be ready to rock and roll. So
Yeah.
I would urge you, Rebecca, as your coach for the day and this week and this moment, that should not necessarily be the indicator. Meaning the work that you're paying for and doing there, that will be there when you're ready for it. And if you feel that I really want to go all in on my consulting, that's not a waste. I don't want you. Do you hear what I'm saying? Just because that
Yeah.
works, I would go to the Lord to say, God, I'm feeling this, and that can wait, right, Lord? Or what do you say? That's the beauty. He's the chairman of the
Yeah.
board. You're the CEO. He calls the shots. You run the play. Like you execute.
Yeah, I love that analogy. It's good.
Okay. So sit, power think about it. Okay, Lord, what will it take? The consulting, I see that package being done by the end of the week myself. So I would encourage you, it's pretty good, right? So I would encourage you to post in the Facebook group. Here's my best client. Here's the transformation. Like, here's what we're going to be doing. Like, in a high level, the transformation is I'm going to run the marketing for them. Okay. And then what is the details? These are the deliverables, very high level. This is the price. And this is how long it is. In other words, you could say, I'm a CMO. We start with a 3-month or a 6-month package. Or you could say it's a 6-month package or it's a year package. You get to decide, but I would love to see that. We can get that all decided
Okay.
and start selling it on Monday.
Okay.
And if
That feels great.
anybody says that feels too simple, can I just say that that's how we do it? Can I just tell you the offer that I'm going to be presenting tomorrow? Who wants to guess when I'm going to finalize what I'm doing in that container? Does anybody want? Pop it in the chat. When am I going to make final decisions around that? Today, says Terry. Who else? What do y'all think? It's already done today on the day. I'll make my final decision tomorrow morning. I have ideas in my brain. I am not going to come in hesitation because I know that when you all hear it, the right people will hear it and say yes. And I want to say that you will hear it and know whether it's yes or no. And all of it's good. That's it. So it can be that simple. You are so welcome, Rebecca. It can be that simple and fun. My gosh, right? All right, Charlotte. Thank you, Rebecca. Charlotte, how can I help you today?
Hello. Thank you. Yesterday you told me that it felt like it wasn't moving fast enough, maybe, and that was quite a good reminder. And I think that my question is, in this stage of building my offer, having made the decisions, building my offer, and having to create that content, I'm feeling like I have this content to create, and I'm kind of building the foundations of this thing that I'm going to do for the rest of time, and build on it, obviously. And I think I'm wondering where my priorities are, because I'm building this content, and I'm trying to build content for the podcast, and I'm trying to sell it, and I'm just feeling a bit like,
so good. Okay, so good. So I think the question is, see, now you say content. When I hear the word content, I think of like putting out into the world. But I think you may be saying that, but I'm thinking you said I am creating basically the back end of my course, like the or my program. I hate when we call it a course. My program trainings. Is that right?
yes, exactly.
Okay, I have a way to make it so easy for you, Charlotte. In my estimation, you don't need to already have that done. This is the first time you're putting out Resilient. So I think it is optimal and best to deliver that live the first time. Why is that good? A couple things. Number one, you only have to be a week ahead. Number two, when you deliver it in real time, then you'll really see how, like, you have this outline, I already know because I saw it, of what you would expect people to do and how you take them through it. But guaranteed, they're going to miss something you thought they'd get, and vice versa. So that's why I love delivering it live. And then you can choose to use those same recordings and put that in the learning portal. Or you may say, you know what? Wow, based upon this, now I know what I'm doing. I'm going to create a more prettified version of it. So I don't see that as your priority so long as you have it clearly mapped out in your brain what you're going to take them through.
Yeah, I think that I suppose that, I mean, I think I have so much about what I want to put into it, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't make it too complicated. I know that I have so many ideas and so much to bring to it, and I want to keep it simple enough that she can really move through it. And I also want it to build on itself. And I think that was possibly, part of the looking forward and trying to prepare myself for what's coming, was I wanted to make sure that it flows smoothly.
Yeah. Can
Uh,
I say this? The outline of what you're doing, like the milestones that you want them to hit throughout the journey, and then what you want to take them through. As long as you have that outline, and then you can have, I used to hate outlines. Did anybody else hate outlines? I just wanted to go. Can I just, like, as a lawyer, that was the hardest part when writing briefs. They're like, write the outline. And the partner would say, write the outline and give it to me. And I'm like, ugh. I don't want to do that, because as I do my research, I'm gonna this and that and the other. But now I see it. This is the 30,000 foot view, the 30,000 foot view. The big things they need to accomplish. Do that first, the milestones, in order to get to the ultimate. And then within each, how many steps do you have? How many milestones? How many?
4.
Okay. So then within each 4, I would say 3, maybe 4 or 5. But I would say if I had to, within each of those, pick 3 major things they need to know, major concepts, major whatever it is, frameworks, whatever, what would those be? And then you could even go more deep than that, but I will tell you, less is more. We want to share with them everything in our brain, but that's not helpful. That's not useful. It really isn't. So I want you to take a breath and feel good about that, because you can have this broad outline and they're going to be like, wow, she's amazing. Once you deliver it week by week and you kind of feel kind of what's going on and hear their questions, that's the best way to do it.
And if I do it, so I mean, eventually it will be dripped. I want it to be dripped because I feel like she needs to do the beginning stuff. I don't want her to race ahead and do anything ahead. And I've just gone, I don't know where I was going with that. But if there are things that perhaps are not necessarily vital to that particular step, but could be useful to her, are those things that I can put into the bonuses?
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
Okay.
And let's make the bonuses sexy, something that they really want. So can we just take 2 minutes and tell me from the gut, what would be outside of the main program that they would be like, oh, yeah, I want to get my hands on that. Can you think of anything?
Well, so I was going to talk about a conflict resolution tool that they could use to support them.
Tell me more about work, or like in order to, what do you mean? Conflict?
So it wouldn't be part of her process of kind of figuring out her identity and things, but it would be something that she could use when it comes to approaching conversations, whether it's with her partner or a manager, or whether it's around setting boundaries.
Okay. If she is a powerhouse woman in corporate and that's important to her, I will tell you that some hot, sexy title around handle. And if you guys know, I kind of have a chip on my shoulder against men. I'm sorry, but maybe does anybody else, like, just because you've been in corporate, like that's the reality? So if that's it, I would say a sexier title than conflict resolution. Handle the biggest male chauvinist with ease. I don't know, like that would be like, yes, I want to learn how to. So I wouldn't really call that conflict resolution. Almost, I would be like it's a high level communication skill of like being seen and heard at work, even by the male chauvinist. I don't know. So do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something like
Yes.
hot and sexy. Conflict resolution, that's kind of, I get it, but it sounds kind of ho-hum boring.
Yes, and I hadn't titled those yet. I mean, I was just thinking
Okay,
about
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good, and it's a reminder of that kind of, how do you catch her and say, "Oh, that's what I really want."
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm sorry, Charlotte. Can I just
No,
leave for a second? That is a stress on her, I believe, from what you and I've talked about, which is she's got the kids, and then she's got the boss and the managers that are just tough to deal with. So it all piles on her stress. So if you can show her the light, this is above and beyond the program, but this bonus alone is worth the investment, because no longer will you be afraid to speak up for yourself, raise your hand in a meeting. I mean, that's like super good. Do you agree? I mean, do you know your people? Okay.
And so just then those bonuses, are they there all the time? And then the other stuff, I mean, does she have to necessarily have, if I'm dripping it out, does she have to have a video every week? Or, you know, if they came to an end, one of the things I was thinking was that it comes to an end, you know, even a few weeks before the program comes to an end, so she has an opportunity to really, you know, go back, ask any questions, bring to coaching anything that hasn't really landed for her.
You can decide however you want to do that. So you get to say, you know what, it's going to take 8 weeks to go through. I'm just throwing stuff out. It'll take 8 weeks. I have 8 weeks of training, but I know that life stuff happens. They may not be able to attend each one. So I'm going to say it's a 12-weeker. And then, you know, you can set that up. You see, we just can't be afraid to tell them like what the deal is. So here's how our 12 weeks together is going to be. Every week, in the first 8 weeks, we're going to la, 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 la. And then you have another 4 weeks to catch up, rewatch stuff, ask me questions, you know. Do you see the excitement with which I'm speaking about your program that I like don't even know the meat of?
Yeah.
I'm
It
excited.
is exciting. And the
Yeah.
more that I'm, you know, the more that I'm putting it together, the more excited I am about it. Yeah, it's great.
So
It's very exciting.
priorities, does that help you with your answer, which was, how do I prioritize all of this?
Yes, and I think that, you know, we are going away on holiday also 2 weeks after I've started. So I think that also got me a little bit like, I've got to prepare. But exactly what you always say, I'm practicing what I'm teaching.
There
And
you go.
mm,
And you get to say, you know what, ladies, and you don't have to tell them before they buy, but once they're in on the onboarding, you say, here's what's going to happen. Our first 2 weeks are going to happen on this date and this date. And then I'm going on holiday. So that'll give you extra time, make it seem like a benefit to them. That'll give you extra time because these first 2 trainings are super important. This serves as the foundation for everything. So you have an extra 2 weeks, boo-doo-doo, right? All of a sudden it becomes a benefit, not something I'm apologizing for or afraid of.
yes, that is good. And I love, like, even yesterday when our coaching was late, and that was okay. You know, it's fine. You do that. You say this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Got
Cool.
it. You are so welcome, Charlotte. Keep going, girl. All right, Terry, how can I help you today?
Hi, lower my hand here. All right, my question is, am I going about the right steps or taking the right steps to get in front of my best client to sell? I've got to make the sell. I've done my beta groups now. Learned so much through doing my beta groups. The first one was way different than the second group, and I know in my head why. And I know the mistakes I made in the second group. And anyway, so now I'm moving to get in front of working professionals who will actually see the value and pay. And so right now, I think my number one thing, and please correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm only telling you first so that you know the action I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I've got to be clear in the messaging on who it's for. I've got to really think back to when I was that working professional and how I felt and what I experienced and go there. I've had a lot of opportunities lately to be a podcast guest, and I got another invitation yesterday to be on a podcast.
Good girl.
So I want to utilize those. Also, I've had some maybe speaking opportunities coming up, and group guest speaking to go into someone's group and talk to them about what I do. And also someone asked me to consider being on their app. I told her to send me more information. It's an
Yeah.
app on parenting resources.
Ooh.
And so I told her to send me more info on that. So those are the things I've got kind of bubbling right now. You never know what's going to materialize and actually flesh out.
Yes. I'm with you.
So I wondered if those are good ways to get in front of that right person to actually get paid, or if I'm overlooking things.
I always point you all back to this. Can you see this? Let's see. Is this not right? Is this, no, I don't know. You can't see this one. Okay. So yes, this offer is the beginning of everything, right? So you've got your offer decisions made. Now it's about all these other things. You know, you've gotten uber clarity about the who. She is a professional woman, which means she's got her own income. She's got certain stressors and obligations, responsibilities, and her life looks different than a stay-at-home, for example. And so I would encourage you, as you are dialing in the messaging, speaking to her life outside of parenting, right? Because it's the life you're really impacting. So talk to others that are right now in that place, if you're able. I would talk to them and just like, do you mind if I record you on Zoom and ask some very pointed questions? Because listen to their words and what they're saying. When you lay your head down on the pillow, what are you thinking about? Well, I'm thinking about the meeting I have tomorrow, and I'm thinking about, oh, I hate that what's his name's going to be in the meeting, but I know I have to deal with that. And then one of my kids is sick, and the other one has this weird thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to hear what they're saying. So yes, messaging is always, to me, that's an ongoing job. Getting clarity on that. I love that you are doing these things that are one-to-many, these marketing activities that are one-to-many in the way of podcast guesting. You mentioned giving a training inside a group, and I don't know about this app, but it's certainly worth looking into. And then speaking opportunities. So that's great. The most important thing about these opportunities, Terry, is again, pointing back to the messaging. So I think that's beautiful that you said that first, because for every speaking opportunity, remember, and I want to make sure I elaborate this on before the end of the week, it's not necessarily about educating. It is about what do they need to believe in order to see the value of what you're doing. So I got to make sure that I talk about the beliefs, the 3 things of beliefs we have to do tomorrow. But it's like, what does she have to be on board with? Number 1, I would say she has to love Jesus Christ and understand that her kids are going to be lost and dead if they don't learn to follow him as a child or as a young person. And then identify the beliefs that they need to stop believing and new beliefs that they need to adopt beyond that first and primary one. So there, I just gave you a part of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. But these beliefs have to be infused in these podcast episodes, in whatever you're doing inside these group trainings, so to speak, because they have to understand what seems so obvious to you and me, which is Christ has got to be number 1, which means we don't just send him to school on Sunday for Sunday school. We talk about it always. So I hope that helps. But I love that you've gotten this clarity around your best client, and you now know where they are, and that's where you're putting yourself. So every activity to get in front of one-to-many and then have an opportunity. Here's the biggest thing. You're going to miss this if not. That is, have a call to action to bring them into your world, to sign up for something in your email list. And I know you had that freebie. So that would be what you're pointing them to. One of my friends I remember when I talked about my Jewish friend who was talking about the difference between what she was told as a kid and what I was told as a kid. She was on the Dr. Oz show years ago. And she goes, Judy, do you know at the time I didn't have a lead magnet? So all those thousands and tens of thousands of people that were watching me, like, lost opportunity. So I don't want any of us to experience that sad moment. So does that help, Terry?
It does. And I want to tell you real quickly, because I know we're running out of time. Okay, for this make bold offers, Judy, I think you need to have a part 2 where it's something like seek solid sales.
Oh, how about that? And it's so interesting that you said that, Terry, because as I looked at yesterday's chat, both in VIP and general session, I'm seeing that ultimately it's sales. But here's the beautiful thing. What I'm going to be covering today in like Wealth is God's Idea, that is a huge chunk of what I believe is the sales stumbling block for so many of us. So good, Terry. Thank you. And Debbie, you're going to go up first tomorrow since I need to stop recording here. I will see you on the other side. Hang tight for one moment.